Remember that one time? How long ago was it? Probably not too long ago to be vivid anymore. That's how it goes. That's how it went. Maybe. Memory is speculative at its best. The past is always so long ago, even if it was only recently past. The vivid leaves as soon as the experience does. So it's a vague life living on a collection of incorrect coincidences being most inopportune at the time when time was without time for further consultation. But something else is coming up anyway, and who knows if it'll be a major life event or if it'll kill you. But watch out for the updates. Watch and try to make it vivid. Add color where the future is so bichromatic. And when there was a loss for words, what was really gone. One time there's a chance to say something about that one time, but that time is past. The moment is dead, gone, buried in memories. And when there was hell to pay, about how much did that cost? What currency was exchanged? What was the charge for? Will the debt be carried over into the afterlife? Yesterday it was so easy to assume the routine would be the same, and it is, so there's that. For better or worse is no better nor any worse than same old, and the yeah, responses to be returned without so much as a concerned look attached to a face fast set to depart. But then again, there was that one time, you remember, that one time that when it was within reach, when what was had wasn't good enough, and there wasn't reason to settle for less than what might be. You remember. It's memorable, even if it was just that one time. Took out a loan for another time, calculated, and counted on hope, but you wouldn't co-sign. Maybe it was for the best, could be for the worst. Who knows? What's there to compare it to? What's comparison worth anyway? Who's been more often read than whoever wrote Home, Sweet Home in Latrobe? And when there's no place like home, what does that mean for the rest of the world? Oh, and to retreat a bit, the author of Welcome must have trillions of views by now, standing on the stoop with salt on boots, eager for a drink and some goddamn sympathy for once. Hell, life isn't easy. Take it from somebody who's been out there and in here actually living almost every day for decades. Living and remembering. Remembering and trying to find something to focus on, but always coming away from it feeling sorry. Feeling and then being just once. Can somebody else be sorry for a second? It's been a series of apologies for longer than should be remembered, but those apologies always add to the content of the form of yesterday's vagaries. Whenever that yesterday was without a shape to fill space, but gaseous enough to make do, to make us feel full, to make us be full enough for the moment. Whatever words were said, it's up for debate now. Watershed moments are lighthouses to avoid in the dark when those waves of other days come back. When a respite is not all it needs to be. It's what it was. Then it'll be what it'll be. What it'll never be is what it is. To be current is to be a conversation. Something a word might change. All right, and this is from Slow Living. I didn't bring any copies either, but Westline Press if anybody cares. Dear, nothing lasts forever, as disposability is bought into. There is always something to be said of the hollow in the vessel, hole in the hub of wheel, room in home, gap in judgment, allowing for closest to have a chance, to, against, knowing better, opening to, openness, what could be served up, value and emptiness. Each vowel replaces a wall, gives entertainment, incompatible with surroundings. Before you grow up, you'll be alone. The policy of truth is sworn, oath taken, drunk on tiled floor, forgotten until recurrence. Later. Mourning. There is no such thing as purpose. Purpose is as much a fallacy as closure. When one asks, what's the purpose? What is being asked is what is being proposed. What is an inkling but a droplet of thought? The pen's pre-cum ready to go at it again. Forget about poetry. This is applied linguistics. Informant and interviewer, field methods. This isn't about being mellifluous or inimical. Sorry, Breton, mood influences vision. Vision is reactionary. Once released from womb, there is no more first sight. Language is at once hallucinogenic and is also a closed book of one's mind. This is how immersion helps words reach their full destiny. The closed book is not filled. Mood is flexible. Sight itself is subject to change, is vulnerable to tricks. Lyricism is the obfuscated aspect of language poetry. What are the ramifications? How many senses are used in a single word? What is the endpoint of an image? Like is always inappropriate, but there are some kinships, not of words, but of what they are hiding. Secret siblings are brought together for sake of something. Don't call it art merely because something was crafted. And this incantatory bewitchment of Baudelaire is called intuition. It's called putting thought, memory, sensation in the pot and coming up with dinner. It's not about spells, but meals. Sustenance, not a sideshow. No magic, no escape. This is the everyday of realism, dissected into tangible and imaginary. Prediction, wishes, experiences, occurrences, tasks, biological functions. Thoroughly thought about while reading Anna Balakian's Surrealism, The Road to the Absolute. Later. And I'm going to read a brand new one. Kept all the letters. Something to line the downfall, give cushion to the crash. Put a grip on a gripe. Source out the sorcery left to die in the fallow field of a new science unconvinced. Get to the point, blunted over time. Figure out a still life drawn from the numbers amassed and buried. Never at last rites, but remembered by rote, by some, for day to come. Born from somebody else, been living for them, and more ever since. Any other way would be a lie. Inauthentic, disrespectful, easier, lonely. Text is an asylum. Not so much a sanctuary, but a place to reside in the meantime. In the meanwhile, on the average, there are worse places to breathe. Air much less hospitable for a wayward word such as what passes between these screens. With sweat and oil across the keyboard, a stained alphabet, shared for a collective sanity soon to pass. A dream is built to collapse. Foldable? Be better for its flatness, giving less space than lucidity affords, than interpretation costs. Accessible, portable, ready to go, even as the evening calls it home. But the night will always disown its darkness, and the shadows are cast from flowers and blooms, stars are runaways, and dirt gives rest to space. On the run, still looking, however dangerous to see the light. Catch grace in a period of stoppage. A kiss as all others wasting time, allowed, allotted, stolen, long division days and remainders for indecision. And guesses are thrown into posts, tweets, notes left in the kitchen. These fantasies been working for peanuts for quite some time, been smashed to bits and butter too, spread thinner than their pay, and put on crumbs left over from bread and circuses while cake went stale on another faraway, optimistic shore. Where will it extend? Where will it extend? How far now? How much more? The night disowned its darkness, distorted and bent. Where will it extend? Got the instinct and the shovel to bury it away. What's a feeling? What's a sense anyway? Scented scattered, how much more tattered the sentiments now. Night disowned its darkness. Stars fled, flowers in bloom bled, shadows leading back here. Who gives and who takes, who tops, whom? Emotion is such a cup sometimes, and downright down and out luck loses every time. Flowers in bloom arise from confusion and control of soil's secrets. And the choices bent to max, how far will they extend? Reach out, make contact, pick up the phone, walk the power lines, pull down the electricity from sky, make night disown its darkness. Portraits of former satellites are placed in the sun's pocket, burning up and soon forgotten. Nothing's never been the same, but kept the letters anyway. Been born for somebody else, been still for sake of another's eye, been sorry for a tear long lost in a margin, a star sitting on the stairs sipping coffee alone. Glass broke before the ice, petals touched fresh ceilings. The melting became another complaint. Meadows had better days before the fall. Summer gave all that it could, put tracks in place, gave rest to weary moons, and stretched days to furthest extent. Nobody followed a dream. Afternoons were for less thoughtful naps. Darkness forgave the night. Words went running along, got out of grown folks' business, struck up some other deal at extent's end, made brightness a ledger, turned space in upon self, refused the horizon, and rested there with them, with words we'll never read. Thank you.